The mysteries of the Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle has a long and mysterious history. The mysteries and myths started after a series of unexplained disappearances. Sometimes called the Devil's Triangle, the ocean located between Florida, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda. The exact size is not agreed upon, but is between 500,000 and 1.5 million square miles. It all started with the disappearance of the U.S.S. Cyclops. In the years before World War I, the Cyclops and crew of 306 men frequently sailed between the Baltic Sea, the Caribbean, and Mexico. Their primary function was to move coal around the world and help refugees. In March 1918, the U.S.S. Cyclops departed Brazil, loaded with 11,000 tons of ore, which was used for making steel. They were headed to Barbados to resupply for the long journey home to Baltimore. In 1917, the Cyclops became a key asset when America entered World War I. They transported troops and coal all over the world. But something went wrong on the 9-day journey from Brazil. The ship and her crew vanished. The last known message from the ship said simply, "Weather fair. All well." Newspapers reported that there wasn't a trace of the ship or her crew. The Cyclops didn't send out an SOS. It just disappeared. At the time, many wondered if it was destroyed by a German U-boat. Built to destroy Allied ships at the beginning of World War I, Germany had about 38 U-boats. By the end of the war, they had built 334. There were usually about 60 active. But at their peak, in October of 1917, there were 140. Many believed it was caused by a supernatural force. The U.S. Navy's official statement about the Cyclops said, "The disappearance of this ship has been one of the most baffling mysteries in the annals of the Navy, all attempts to locate her having proved unsuccessful. To this day, no wreckage has been found." Then, in 1945, during routine training exercises, 5 U.S. Navy planes and 14 men disappeared. The flight's leader, Lieutenant Charles Taylor, was heard over the radio saying, "We are entering white water. Nothing seems right. We don't know where we are. The water is green. No. White." The men and the planes were lost, never to be seen again. Quickly, the U.S. Navy investigated. It was believed that when it got dark, Lieutenant Charles Taylor had simply gotten lost, flew until they ran out of fuel, and had to ditch in the sea. During the investigation, it was discovered that Lieutenant Taylor had gotten lost and needed to be rescued in the Pacific Ocean twice before. The sun went down and the weather had worsened. They struggled to read their instruments. The aircraft they were flying were known to sink in just 45 seconds. Ultimately, the Navy's report said, "Cause unknown." Navigators of the Bermuda Triangle often experience compass variations. Christopher Columbus wrote that he experienced many navigational irregularities. The first person to sail solo around the globe, Joshua Slocum, disappeared in 1909 while sailing from Martha's Vineyard to South America. Many blame the mystery on the Bermuda Triangle. Generally, it is believed that there are several key factors to blame for the mysterious disappearances. The Gulf Stream is a major surface current that originates in the Gulf of Mexico and flows through the Straits of Florida into the North Atlantic.
It acts like a river within the ocean. And, like a river, it can carry floating objects vast distances.
A plane forced to make a water landing or a ship that's lost its engines would be forced far from its reported position. Powerful storms, formed in the tropical waters, have cost thousands of lives in numerous incidents. There are large fields of methane hydrates on the continental shelf. Laboratory experiments have proven that bubbles, like the ones caused by methane hydrates, can sink a ship by decreasing the density of the water. Periodic methane eruptions may produce regions of frothy water that are no longer capable of providing adequate buoyancy. This could cause it to sink very rapidly and without warning. Research has shown that the number of ships and aircraft reported missing in the area was not significantly greater, proportionally speaking, than in any other part of the ocean. Despite its history, the Bermuda Triangle is not recognized as a uniquely hazardous place by those that pass through it on a regular basis. Today, there are flights from Miami to San Juan, Puerto Rico, on a regular basis, all by and large without incident. Ships of all sizes go through every day. There are occasionally mysterious disappearances. A 2013 study by the Worldwide Fund for Nature showed that the Bermuda Triangle is not one of the most dangerous waters. Today, the area is commonly used by ships and airplanes. The U.S. Coast Guard says, in a review of many aircraft and vessel losses in the area, over the years, there has been nothing discovered that would indicate that casualties were the result of anything other than physical causes. No extraordinary factors have ever been identified. There is no single explanation for the mysterious disappearances of the Bermuda Triangle. It is likely that human error, unforeseen changes in weather, and inexperience are to blame. But to some, the legend and lore will remain. And it will always be the Devil's Triangle.